And we're live.
Finally, little technical difficulties there. A couple false starts.
Yeah.
I've had those before. Anyway, Apex, what have you been up to? It's October 2024.
Oh man, I'm waiting on that cold weather to roll in.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
And no more hurricanes, please, for sure. But I believe there's one out there in the Gulf, as they saying.
Yeah, there's a couple of tropical storms that could get named. I'm not sure exactly which one's out there.
I heard it's Milton might hit Florida again. Poor Florida. And
Oh,
they've
man.
been through heck already in other parts of the states as well.
Yeah.
So guys, what we're going to be doing in this live session, I know it's been a while since we've done it. Apex and I have been super busy. Pressure washing, parking lot striping, that sort of thing. October already. Where's the year going? Just this fast.
It's just flown
The
by.
10th month already. It's unbelievable.
What's up, Dirt Blasters? What's up, bro?
Dirt Blasters in the house. What's up, Jason? Jason's out there in northern Louisiana. He gets a little cooler weather than what we get.
Yeah, he's probably cold right now.
Yeah, matter of fact, we're supposed to go see him one day and ride his side-by-side through some mud. But in this live stream, guys, we're going to be answering some of y'all's questions about pressure washing, parking lot striping. My understanding, talking to a lot of the guys out in the industry, is we do our training courses. We mentor these guys and gals as well. We've noticed a bit of a slowdown on the pressure washing side, especially the residential side. A lot of times that could be for several reasons. People are not moving as much because the interest rates are higher on homes right now. So they're not in and out and flipping houses. The average homeowner stays in a home 5 to 6, 7 years on average. A lot of times these homes are interchanging hands. They get pressure washed during that time. So people's hanging on to their property for whatever reason. But there's some other reasons why the residential side could be lacking a little bit. We've had a lot in the news here this year. We're in a election year, as you know. So
Yeah.
sometimes that kind of sends some ripples through the pressure washing industry market. But there's a lot of things that you can do on your end to kind of step in front of those losses and get some niche work. And we're going to talk about some of that here in this live session, also answering your questions. And we hope that you hit that like button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. In addition, before we get started, Apex is going to be reading the comments and questions off of his device. In addition, we have a new coupon code, guys, for the pressure washing training courses on BillyDavidsonVIP.com. Apex, you want to give them some more information on that?
Okay, guys, if y'all want to save 50% off of any of these pressure washing courses, you can use the code SAVE50.
50%.
Save 50. Yep.
I told him 15%.
Oh, today's your lucky day.
Lucky day. So half off.
Yep.
You tell me if we go in here right now, we get half off by save 50.
Yep.
All right, we're taking that at Apex's pay, y'all.
Oh, it hit me hard, bro.
No Burger King for him tonight, huh?
Oh, man.
So anyway, but yeah, that'll save you some money. And we do teach in those training courses how you can get ahead of a slow economy. Even if it's regionally slow in your area, you may want to bounce out of your region. Like we travel out of state often for parking lot striping, pressure washing, that sort of thing. Sometimes you can bounce into another region just 150 miles away and it's a whole new economy or different economy in that section. Sometimes across a state line, that sort of thing. So if y'all got any questions about that, we can help you out with it. Just leave a question in the comment section. Other than that, Apex, we're getting ready to do a lot of traveling. Speaking of out of state, we got to travel quite a bit for some parking lot striping. It's
Yeah.
going to be cooler weather. Man, that's always
Yeah.
really nice. It's something to look forward to.
That's one of my favorite things to do is run that striping machine when it's just a little bit cool out. It's very fulfilling work. It's satisfying. For sure.
Speaking of that, I once read that the optimum temperature for a human being to perform work is 58 degrees. So, a little warmer, a little cooler I can handle. But when you start 102 degrees, I'd just rather not. You know what I'm saying? We have before, for sure.
Power through that.
Yeah. But you can actually stripe Apex in as low as, I've done it as low as 28, 26 degrees.
Sub-freezing temperatures.
Sub-freezing temperatures. Obviously, you're not going to be using latex, but yeah, you can stripe in really cold temperatures. so long as the ground is wet, there's not ice. I mean, so long as the ground's not wet and there's no ice, in the area,
Right.
you can stripe all day long. But about 50 degrees is my go-to thing. Boots, jacket, man, just get out there and stripe all night long like nobody's business.
Absolutely, and thank you guys, these 14 people, for tuning in. We really appreciate that. We appreciate if you hit the like button. First 14 people in the stream.
First 14, all right.
We got our first question here from Anthony Rowell. He says, "How safe is it to travel with water when there isn't a water source?"
So that's a great question, Anthony. Anthony, if you want to let us know where you're from, whatever state or region, that would be helpful too. So depending, Apex has a lot of experience in this. Sometimes we do carry water. Our tanks range anywhere from 275 gallons to 330 gallons. So if you do the multiplication, you got a couple, 2,000 or 3,000 pounds of weight back there, and it will shift around. If you're going to carry anything over 1,000 pounds of water weight, you want to be really cognitive of your stopping distance. So make sure your vehicle has all the up-to-date braking stuff going on, good tires, obviously. In addition, I would highly recommend having a double axle trailer with that trailer brake system on it too. Obviously, modern trucks is going to be able to pull 3,000 or 4,000 pounds easily. It's just that stopping distance and hard turns is what's going to get you. But other than that,
I do have an important point to
yeah,
make.
go ahead.
So, if you have your buffer tank, your big water tank set up on your trailer, just make sure no matter what, you don't have it at the very rear of the trailer for whatever reason, and fill it up and go down the highway, because it is not going to end well.
Yeah, your tongue weight needs to be appropriate, that sort of thing. 300-400 pounds of tongue weight is probably about right. But just watch that stopping distance, watch hard turns. Also select some roads that are easier on your truck, big bumps, speed bumps, that sort of thing. We once pulled a tire off of the rim by doing a twisting turn in a parking lot with about 2,500 pounds of water. But other than that, we've traveled from here to, a couple weeks ago out near Lafayette, Louisiana, which was over 100 miles on the interstate, crossed the Mississippi River Bridge, 2 trucks, Apex and I, both loaded down with water. You want to reduce that speed a little bit, and try not to change too many lanes, but you can do it. But in addition to that, if you carry in water for a customer, that customer needs to pay for that extra inconvenience as well. So that's an additional charge for that mobilization fee. Obviously, you're risking more on your vehicle, you're burning more fuel, that sort of thing. So you do want to charge. Typically, I like to charge about $100 for extra bringing that water for every 25 miles of traveling. In different regions you might can do different prices, but you got to, carry it 25, 30 miles, extra $100 is about where I would be. What's your thoughts on that, Apex?
That sounds about right, because you're going to have wear and tear on your vehicle. Everything is accelerated when there's more weight on the vehicle. It tears things up faster, and then you have to worry about your stopping distance for sure. You got all that extra momentum, and then another thing is you make sure that tank is bolted down properly to that trailer.
That's a great point.
Because if you got about half full, let's say you got to come to a sudden stop for whatever reason, maybe red light catches you, a little lady pulls out in front of you, whatever. If you come to a screeching halt, that tank, if it's not secured properly, all that water is going to want to keep going, and it's going to roll that tank forward, destroy your plumbing, probably mess up the tailgate of your truck, and if you're lucky, not come back into your cab.
Your tank has to be secured properly. I would suggest even, if your tank is bolted down, also secure it with some extra straps to your frame railing on your trailer. If you're using a truck, just make sure you check your door panel for your weight ratings on that particular truck. But it's a common practice. We don't love doing it, but we do it at times, especially when a customer needs this service performed. But there again, Apex, we charge them a bit extra for that.
Yeah. Now, Dirt Blasters has a comment here. He says, from experience, so that he's done this. Okay.
He done
from
messed up. He done screwed up.
If someone pulls out in front of you and you have to brake fast, it could cause you to slide.
Sure will. Yeah, I've had that done too before.
I
actually wasn't carrying water, but I was carrying a lot of equipment. It was a wet road.
So this was my first year into pressure washing. I had my little red truck, little F-150, and it didn't weigh a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of a lightweight truck.
So I had my tank about half full, and I'd forgotten I forgot to hit the dump valve before I left.
Oh, you was carrying a full load,
Yeah, and I come to this red light, and the yellow light catches me, so I try to brake, and my trailer just pushes me through, so I had to just step on it and get back on through it, but it made me run that red light.
Just close your eyes, cover your face, and wait, hope for the best. Guys, I also want to say, a lot of you have my personal phone number. If you want to call in, we'll put you on speakerphone here, and you can ask a question live here on speakerphone as well. We've done that before, so if it rings, Apex, answer it, or either I will, and we can answer your question live as well.
Absolutely. We got 16 people in the live stream. We appreciate your viewership, guys. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy the content, and leave us a comment. So
yeah, leave a comment. Let me know how business has been going in the pressure washing, parking lot striping. If you got a question, now's a great time for it. And in addition to that, don't forget our new coupon code, SAVE50 on BillyDavidsonVIP.com. Save 50% on any of our pressure washing online courses.
Absolutely. Anthony Brown says, Houston, Texas.
Oh wow, Houston's a good market, man. I've done a lot of work out in Houston, Beaumont area. And if you're in Houston, you can even scoot on up there towards Austin. Great economy for parking lot striping out that way.
Absolutely. And what's up, Wild West? How you doing, man?
Big Wild West. We ain't talked to Wild West in a while, man. How you been doing, Mr. Wild West?
All right. Yeah, things this economy and everything, it's just that time, Things have been kind of tough out there for people. It's just that time.
Yeah, we've been good. We just, pressure washing dumpster pads, parking lot striping. Sometimes if homeowners are not hiring as much, you can kind of move into the commercial world or either government contracts as well. I've always taught to my students to do a 30-30-30 rule, and I'll explain that to you all here. 30% residential, and I know sometimes it's really difficult to stick with that 30% because you get so inundated with residential calls at certain times of the year. But you really have to kind of push back on those needs, wanting to go grab all this residential money, because it doesn't give you time to go after commercial work. And the commercial work, also 30% of your time and efforts into that, and then 30% into government work as well. So pursuing those three sectors of the industry is important. But we got 10% left over. And
right.
What you want to do with your 10% time is hammer down on your marketing, yard signs, obviously email marketing, that stuff, cold calling. You only got so many hours in a day, but
right.
But make sure you have your business structured where you're doing 30-30-30 as much as possible. And if one section of the economy slows down a little bit, you still got the other two to kind of carry you through that area.
Right. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. Unless it's like a guaranteed basket.
Yeah, we've known some guys that did 90% residential, then all of a sudden the residential slows down, and then they're stuck at home having to lay off their guys and not working, or vice versa, being 90% in a commercial. You have some ripple effect going through the commercial industry where you're not getting that much work, and now you're stuck, not doing anything. So right now, homeowners may not be hiring for roof cleaning and stuff in some areas, but they will always hire you to clean gutters and cleaning windows. I know somebody personally makes $10,000 a month cleaning windows, basically out of a trunk of an SUV.
Wow, that is life changing.
$10,000 a month, and he could grow bigger. He don't want to. He's like, I got enough. That's it. So, cleaning windows in residential and commercial. So
that's amazing.
Cleans a lot of church windows too as well. So
I love doing business with churches. Such pleasant people.
They are a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah.
I think Dirt Blasters was actually striping a church maybe a week or so ago. Maybe currently, I remember talking to him about it.
Possibly. So Wild West, Charles West, he says, I'm good, business growing every year. I also started a 3D printing business. Now that's a new
Oh,
one. I
that's
hadn't
cool.
heard of that.
Yeah, might have to hit him up for something. 3D.
Yeah.
Do you know much about it?
So yeah, there's a few different types of 3D printers. Most commonly is resin 3D printers, and it's really good for creating small plastic objects. And you can get a bigger. You can only make something as big as the machine can fit in its creation zone.
Right.
So like, let's say I wanted to create a new phone case or something. I got to have a machine that can at least fit this in its creation
Unless you
zone.
made it modular and then snapped together. some
Right,
kind of
that's
like
another way,
Lego
yeah.
blocks or something.
Now, with 3D printing, you will have 3D printing marks, so the layers of it, it just melts the plastic on layer by layer from the bottom to the top.
Very interesting.
But you can create some interesting shapes and stuff that you otherwise wouldn't normally be able to create with casting.
Wait till AI gets a hold of 3D printing.
Oh, man.
We're in trouble.
It's going to print itself something to walk around with.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure.
Okay, Ricky Quaidar says, how to clean old grease off concrete.
Oh, man. Well, there's two types of grease, Ricky. There is grease that you would want to, specify as cooking grease, like restaurant grease. That's one type, and the other type would be petroleum-based grease, and from automobiles. Personally, we'll talk about a product we use a lot cleaning cooking grease is One Restore. One Restore, you can get it from Window Cleaning Resources for sure. What's the other person we get it from? Panhandle Pressure Washing. They drop ship it to you. Same day, great shipping out there. Panhandle Pressure Washing. They're in Panhandle of Florida, I believe. One Restore, what I usually do with our One Restore, it comes in 5-gallon buckets. I think you can buy it in a 1-gallon bucket.
You
five gallon buckets is the best value. We pour about a gallon of One Restore in 3 gallons of water, 3.5 gallons of water, and downstream it with a super sud sucker. So you're getting about 1.5%. But let that cook on that concrete and then reapply it about 5 minutes later. Now you're downstreaming, so it's very concentrated what you're using. So downstream is diluting it quite a bit. So 2 applications of it, and then surface clean, preferably with hot water, but you don't necessarily have to. We do a lot of restaurant cleaning in our business, so hot water does help, but it's not a must. If you're using the One Restore, you want to be careful. It has some acidic base to it and some other chemicals in it, so you want to be using hand and eye protection, that sort of thing. If you're doing automotive grease on concrete, you can use muriatic acid. We kind of teach that in some of our training courses as well. You got to be really careful with it. But muriatic acid works really good on automotive grease, and you can clean it up with a water hose that's on concrete. You can't use any of these products on blacktop or asphalt. You're going to ruin that asphalt. If you do have it on asphalt and you want to try to clean it up, there's a product called TSP. You can probably Google it, and it comes in a powder form. You mix it with warm water, and you can use a stiff brush to scrub the blacktop with it, and then use light pressure to remove it. And it takes multiple applications to remove that from asphalt, because you can't put a harsh chemical or high pressure on asphalt. So think about that. So hopefully that answers your question about grease removal. And remember, grease removal is tough. A lot of times you'll never get it 100% clean. So make sure you set those expectations with your customer. We've had automotive grease spill on brand new concrete, and it was there 5, 10, 15 minutes, and we still was unable to get 100% of it up. Oftentimes that hot oil from automobiles saturates into that concrete almost immediately. Concrete's porous, as we all know, Apex, and it soaks down under a few layers of it, and even if you're right there on top of it, sometimes you'll still have that stain. But you can get it to dry up and remove that slippery millage on top for sure. But make sure you set that with your expectations with your customer.
Yeah, it's amazing how much 20 seconds dialogue can make the difference with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we got 20 people in the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Welcome to the stream. We're having a good time here answering y'all's questions in regards to pressure washing and parking lot striping. And we've got a few new comments here.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Stephen Pickard says, hi from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey, Stephen, I'm coming to see you soon. I got Las Vegas on my agenda. I'm not sure if I'm coming this year or early next year, but I will be in Las Vegas.
It's on the radar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Sprite NA Exterior Cleaning says, we buy our One Restore from a brick company in our area.
Interesting. Do you know, could you leave in the comment section how much it is for the 5 gallons? I think we're paying, with shipping and everything from Panhandle, it's under 200. I want to say maybe 170, 180, and again, that's 5 gallons. The label actually says, Apex, on a One Restore that you can use it straight, and we've done that. You know, pour it straight on the concrete. But we find that it get better results using it with water. It's diluted, and I honestly think it stays wet longer because you have a little water in it, and it's longer to activate. But I've used it straight, and I feel like you get better results using it diluted.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Yeah, but it does take 2 applications, about 5 or 10 minutes apart, and agitation does help. Another thing with One Restore, it does require pressure is to remove that contaminant that you're removing, but other than that, it works really, really well. We've cleaned concrete that we struggled with and cleaned it multiple times, and as soon as we found out about the One Restore and started using it, we can notice a huge difference when cleaning this concrete, especially on restaurant stains and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Charles West, he says, I can print objects 8.5 by 8.5 by 9.8 inches.
Wow, that's pretty big. 3D printing, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get one that says Apex or Billy Davidson Live or something.
Yeah, dude, if you print out my channel name, I will put that thing in one of my videos.
What about Billy Davidson Academy? Hey, this is my live stream. Don't listen to him. Wild West. Make me one.
Yeah, pay him one. Now, our next comment, Dave Kofer says, Trump or Kamala?
Trump or Kamala what? Oh, who you're voting for?
That's just what it says, Trump or Kamala.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and vote for Trump this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hadn't met either one of them in person, so.
Yeah.
I'm kind of non-political.
Right. Yeah. Let's see.
Dirt Blasters. He said.
Oh, he's eating fish right now.
He's probably eating catfish right now.
Yeah.
It's the weekend Saturday, so.
Yeah.
Y'all leave in the comment section who y'all voting for, Kamala or Trump.
I'm gonna be straight with you. I'm not really into
politics.
Harris
or Trump. We saying her first name, right?
Right. Harris or Trump. I'm not really too much into politics, but I'm gonna vote for Trump. I mean, I know what life was like under him, and I know what life was like in the last few years, so I'm gonna go back to that if we can. Now, getting back to pressure washing, guys. Sprite NA Exterior Cleaning says, I believe the last time I bought it in 2024, a 5 gallon was near $175. So yeah, that tracks what we're getting.
That's about right. It's about the same price then.
Everybody in the comments is saying Trump.
They all saying Trump.
Yeah, Charles says Big T.
Big T.
Andrevius O'Neill says Trump so he can save the economy. Kerry says Trump. And,
yeah, you really got to look at their individual plans. I know they all give speeches and stuff, but go to their websites and compare their agendas. And
yeah.
I personally, have some moral values against some of the stuff one side does versus the other, that sort of thing. But look at their plans carefully. We're all businessmen in here, so we do want lower taxes. We want lower interest rates. Inflation needs to get under control. Housing prices need to get under control. Fuel needs to get under control. So whatever candidate that you believe is going to do that, you need to go pull the lever for that person. And, we all have our own agendas in our personal lives. But, guys, there's a lot of times that I've been doing this for 31 years. So through many elections, many presidents, many hurricanes, many natural disasters, just about every type of economy, slow economy, good economy, no economy. And we can still manage our own household despite what goes on with our politicians. It's more important, and if you saving money, if you paying off debt, that sort of thing, and making money, and raising your children, got dogs, cats, animals, that sort of thing. Got to take care of them just as well. So, stay focused on your business as well. I personally don't watch any TV whatsoever.
Me either. I just watch YouTube.
I don't even think I've turned on a YouTube, other than YouTube, but like a regular network channel in 20 years. Like, I don't know what's on ABC, CBS, CNN, Fox. I have no idea. But I do love YouTube as well. So this is my new TV, I guess.
Okay, so Assman45 ACP says, "Hey Billy, I bought your dumpster pad training course and I'm saving up to buy a truck business."
Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Truck's gonna help you.
Yeah. So read that one more time. He bought our dumpster pad training.
He said, "Hey Billy, I bought your dumpster pad training course and I'm saving up to buy a truck, the business." So I guess he means for the business.
Oh, for the business, yeah. Yeah, it really helps to have a vehicle. We got a guy doing some dumpster pads out of an older SUV. He laid the seats down.
Really?
He throws his little 4 gallon per minute machine in there. Yeah, he sent me a picture of it. He has like some plastic mats he puts down. It's their family car. It's like their whole family car he's working out of, but it's working for him.
He's making it happen.
He's making it happen. And his thing is he's going to buy a truck cash money. He don't want no debt, which I'm 100% on that.
Yeah.
And he's going to buy like a little $10,000, $15,000 used truck that's, decent, and go from there and then springboard up. Then, get into a bigger truck, a 250 if you want, 2,500.
Right.
But if you can cash roll all of that, you don't have that debt saddling down a new business. And debt is the number one killer of businesses out there, where you get overextended on equipment or vehicles and that sort of thing. And then if something happens and you slow down, you sprain your ankle, especially if you're owner or operator, and now you can't work for 2 or 3 weeks, and those bills don't know the difference. So keep your debt low if it's possible. But yeah, do it out of a car if you have to.
Yeah, guys, dude, cut your debt. That is powerful.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I don't know how many of you all have read my book I wrote last year, but I started my first business consisted, and this is honest to God's truth. My first business consisted of a 10-speed bike that only had one gear because it was broke. The little selector thing.
Yeah.
And a piece of rope and a push lawnmower. Can you imagine what I did? I turned that lawnmower backwards, tied the rope to my seat, and had a gas jug strapped on the top of it. There's no telling what people thought about me riding around town on the side of the road, and I would go cut people's grass. So, and I was charging them a premium as well, because I would cut their grass, like make multiple passes on it and get it all mulched in really good. And I did that all through my teenage years. And I was making more on the weekend with this 10-speed bike and a push lawnmower than some adults were making at the warehouses and stuff. And I'll tell you, I was making like $375 a weekend when I was 16.
Oh man, that's
this is all those years back. So minimum wage was like, I don't know, $4.25 an hour back then. So I was making good money. And then how I started in pressure washing, people. I would be cutting their grass, and then, back then a lot of people in our area sat on the front porch or the back porch in the evening times. And so I started saying, hey, I can hose off your front porch. And then I got a bucket, and I didn't know what chemicals to mix. I didn't even have chemicals. I was on a 10-speed bike. And I would put soap powder in the water, stir it in, and scrub the front porch down. And I had these flyers made at front porch cleaning, like $75, and that was the start of my pressure washing career.
Wow.
Had no idea that you can use SH and machines, and all that stuff. So I was cutting grass and scrubbing porches down with a scrub brush and with soap powder, and it came out good. It was a lot of work, but It's a lot easier way to do it too, but
Yeah.
I didn't know any different
The
and didn't
caveman.
care. Hell, I was enjoying myself, you know.
That's the American dream, man. You're coming up, you're making it happen, you're figuring it out.
Hmm.
I got a question. So you had a 10-speed bike, and you can only pick one speed. What speed did you use the whole time?
It was one of those tough ones. I
Oh
almost
yeah,
had to
yeah.
run on side the bike to get it going
Right.
and then hop on it because pulling that lawnmower, I mean, you could stand on that pedal. You know, it's like a
Yeah.
high gear. And I probably weighed about 130 pounds back then.
Tell me this: when you started making, did you buy a new bike when you started making?
Oh, I
Money?
got I ran that bike in the ground. Let me tell you, if I don't know if y'all familiar with bicycles, but you know the part you pedal has got that hub
Yeah.
in it. I was pedaling, going up an overpass, pulling my lawnmower, and the whole thing just sheared, and it was free spinning. So
Oh no.
I ended up walking the bike home. This is long before cell phones came out. You know, drug in my yard with the bike, and I think after that we got another bicycle temporarily, but I got a truck not long after that.
I was about to
so.
say, man, your first truck, that's got to be a big one.
Yeah, my first truck, man, I'll never forget it. It was a little Nissan Frontier. I think it was a Frontier. It was, or no, maybe not the front. It's like a 1985 Nissan truck. It was, it didn't have air conditioner, but I had two windows to roll down. So, and I didn't have the pedal either. So, that was. But yeah, that's how I got started. So, if you working out of a trunk of your car or a van, I mean, anything like that, just make it happen. Nobody's gonna do it for you.
Yeah,
I promise you that. No
if it's
one's gonna do
got
it for you.
some wheels and an engine, it can get you to where you can make money.
Man, that would have been a blessing.
Yeah.
Especially these hot summers down in Louisiana. If you're grass cutting, you're cutting grass in the summertime. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day I'll tell more about some of the stuff we went through. I tell Apex now when I'm out pressure washing, it feels like I'm retired. Everything is so easier. The surface cleaners work good. The SH we throw, the pumps that
We've got it down to a science.
Yeah, it's we don't even really work when we got their pressure wash. There's many times we don't even need to sit on anything in our truck, and we got black cloth seats.
Yeah.
We don't even get dirty really. So. Yeah, no bleach stains on your truck either.
No.
Yeah, so it's
Years of technique, doing it the right way.
Barely even get dirty. Our feet
Yeah.
might a little bit. You got any more before I go on another rant?
Yeah, I got a few more. And guys, if you're just getting started in pressure washing, pulling something behind your bike, or you're already established, you can get 50% off of all of these pressure washing courses on BillyDavidsonVIP.com with the code SAVE50. That's SAVE50.
Maybe you can drop that in the comment section too as well.
I will know in our next comment. I'm not skipping any comments.
Okay.
So, Sprite NA Exterior Cleaning says, if you're a business owner and you don't want your taxes to go up, you better be voting for Trump. It's a good point, man. I like money. I'm voting for Trump.
Hey, lower taxes. I vote my pocket. I vote my wallet a lot of cases.
Yeah, my wallet does not vote.
Right.
Okay, Sprite NA Exterior Cleaning says, what type of paint is used for striping parking lots, and how do you remove old stripes without harming asphalt?
So you can't. We'll take the second question first. You cannot remove stripes off of blacktop or asphalt. If you do, you're going to damage the asphalt. Now you can on concrete using something called a Scarifier, which is like a powered wire brush that spins. Imagine if you're doing that on asphalt, you're going to score that up and dig into it. Now what you can do on asphalt is seal coat over it or either gray out those existing lines. And you need to let your customer know that. If anyone tells you anything different about removing them on asphalt, do that at your own risk because you can hurt the surface. On concrete, it's a little more forgiving. We can put some abrasive spinning devices on it. You can use a wire wheel brush. You can use a pressure washer using some cleaners and acids and the turbo nozzle. Concrete is a little more forgiving. The PSI tensile strength for concrete usually is 3,000 to 4,000 pounds per square inch. On asphalt, it's a fraction of that. So, that's why you really can't use pressure or abrasive or either harsh chemicals on asphalt. If you pour a bunch of degreaser on asphalt, it's going to emulsify that top layer and you'll clearly be able to see it then and there. So be careful with that. Only again, just to reiterate, you can only gray out on asphalt, but you can remove them on concrete.
Absolutely. You want to be very
And-
mindful of that, or else
And
you'll have a
also the type of
disaster.
paint that we use, depending again on if you're painting asphalt, you can only use latex, and that's a water based, and that's a DOT traffic paint. You can find some of that at Lowe's, Home Depot, Sherwin-Williams, Helm Paint Stores, Benjamin Moore Paint Stores, Pittsburgh. Not all traffic paints is created equally. Um, if you're painting concrete, you can use latex or either solvent based. So that's a solvent base or either a water base, depending on your temperature, depending on the surface condition. There's a lot of variables that go into it. The traffic paint that you're using has to be prepped correctly before using it. We also demonstrate all of that in the All Pro parking lot striping course, which if Apex be so kindly to type in the comment section that website.
Absolutely.
14 hours of online video training, sample contract, knowledge test. Our mentorship, Apex and I, will help you through your first few jobs answering these questions for your particular project. So we'll request pictures, the GPS address for it, so we can look at some overhead shots on Google and kind of help you develop a price for it, develop a strategy to do the job, tell you what's going to be a problem, what to focus on, that sort of thing. And, at least 3 or 4 jobs, and then usually my students are kind of off to their own. I just had a student land a $48,000 parking lot striping job, Apex.
Wow.
Yep, and he's new, brand new, like 3 months into it.
Oh, man.
I told him beginner's luck, it's
Yeah.
a real thing. I'm not saying he's going to land these back to back, but he could. My first parking lot striping job was for $6,500, and this was in the early '90s. So that's, with inflation, it's probably close to 40 grand. now. Yeah.
He's making a whole year of income.
That's what he told me.
For some people,
Yeah.
and then now he's got a year to find another job. I think he might find one.
Well, thinking about, honestly, his profit margin, the job's for 48,000. He's probably going to turn 32, 34,000. I'm not going to give away
Yeah.
too much of his business on here, but yeah, 2-3 jobs a year like that. You can hunt and fish in the meantime, but $100 grand a year. I think he's a single guy. No kids, no family, really, just out there pushing himself. He's going to do great. First
Yeah.
job, 48,000. He's got the area that he's working in. He's got the same client that owns this property, owns other, and if he does a good job, he's going to probably be. I wouldn't surprise if he makes $500,000 next year.
In like Flynn, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna make big money. Just painting parking lines. Who would ever guess? It's a strategy to it. You got to have technique and knowledge, but once you get into it and you get name recognition out there in your community, you won't have a problem getting work at all.
Absolutely. And we've got another comment here. It says, okay, so Stephen Pickard says, do you need contracting lessons to do power washing or parking lot striping? Contracting lessons.
I'm not sure I understand the question correctly. Read it one more time.
He says, do you need contracting lessons to do power washing or parking lot striping? I think that's speech recognition. It meant license.
License,
Probably.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, that would make more sense, and that's what I was thinking.
Contractor's license.
So what you do need to do, different counties have different rules and regulations. You do need to have a registered business name. It's not per se a license that you're gonna get like a card, and it may be in some counties, but the ones I'm familiar with, you go to the local county clerk of court and you register your business name. They're gonna get some money from you. Sometimes it's $40, sometimes it's $120, whatever it is. Register that business name. Then you want to take that paperwork with your registered business name straight to a bank and open up an account with that business name. Usually the banks are not going to open up an account in a business name unless they have that paperwork from the county clerk of court. At least that's been our experience with our students. So I know some counties are going to probably be a little bit different, but to answer your question, go to your local clerk of court in person. you're going to get the best results there. Bring a little money with your heavy business name in hand. They're going to probably do a quick statewide search, just make sure, in a statewide register, make sure no one else has got that business name, and then you're good to go. As far as I know, that's all you need to get started. Now, some commercial works are going to need a general liability policy in place and a workers' comp policy in place. Some of your mom and pop locations like restaurants, gas stations, hotels, that sort of thing never even ask for that paperwork, but some of your Fortune 500 companies will. So, but don't let that scare you off. Workers' comp and general liability policy both can be $100, $150 a month if you structure them right. And then, you know, you got that paperwork to go after some of the larger contracts, like we're saying, one of our students landed this dang near $50,000 parking lot striping job. You know, it's worth all that. Then if you're going to get a few more of those jobs, it's worth carrying those policies. And the cost is insignificant to the amount of money you could be making on the back end. In addition, Apex, I do go over a lot in the All-Pro Parking Lot Striping course, how to reduce your insurance rates, some things that we've learned over the years to kind of keep them insurance rates down low, especially at first when you cash roll and everything, you're trying to get your income coming in, that revenue. Later down the road, you're making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. $50 on the insurance policy, one way or the other, may not be worth your time sitting down with the agent trying to get that. But early on, it could be. So that's why we teach some of that in the All-Pro Parking Lot Striping course there.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many people we got online now?
So we've got 16 people sticking around. We appreciate that, guys.
Thank you all.
Okay, we just got another big comment here from Terry Shelby. Says, if I'm trying to start out and want to do a free small parking lot by roller to get pictures, do you recommend getting insurance beforehand, trying to get started?
So if you're going to do, I always say start with your marketing first. So it's a great question. If you're going to go do a free job, let's say it's your local church or community center, you can start out doing some of these lines with a paint roller, tape, that sort of thing, as we teach. And doing it correctly in the pictures, you won't be able to tell if it's done with the equipment or not. Now, the downside of it is hard work. You're on your hands and knees, that sort of thing, and doing all of that. But just to get started, absolutely, go do some, get your pictures, get those on Facebook, create a Facebook business page, create a Google My Business listing, that sort of thing. GoodNYP.com. Get on all the free online registries to list your business. Facebook's a big one now, so don't forget that. But yeah, that would be great pictures. Also, our All-Pro Parking Lot Striping students, if they need some before and after pictures, we will provide those to them as well. So, but make sure you get the correct training, the correct knowledge, so before you get started, you know what you're doing. Because sometimes, Apex, I see some of these guys that don't want to put the work in getting the knowledge to get started, kind of screw everything up before they really get started. So, think about that before you get started. But start that marketing, pick that business name. Business name's real important too, as well. And get that marketing out there. Now, once you do get a few jobs under your belt, even you painting them by hand, you take that money and go buy some used equipment if you got to.
Yep, and Billy's got guides on how to pick the right used equipment, how to know what you're shopping for, prices, and all of that. And all of that is in the parking lot striping course, the All-Pro Parking Lot Striping course.
This is what Dirt Blasters just texted me.
That looks good.
What is that?
So fried catfish looks like.
Man, that's
hush puppies and fries, man.
I don't know if y'all can see that. Is that in camera?
Get a little closer with it, yeah.
This is what Dirt Blasters just sent me on my phone. I knew he was eating something.
Man, got that seafood dinner.
Man, I've been craving catfish too.
Yeah.
They got a little place down the road that just came in town. It's called Off the Hook. We'll ride over there after this.
Yeah,
take that diesel truck of yours and ease on down there and get something to eat, y'all. Thank you, Dirt Blaster. I've been trying to watch my calories, but he just got me good.
Every now and then, man, treat yourself. We got 18 people in the stream. Thank you guys so much for your viewership.
And the guys, we also going to be giving away an X-Jet as well coming up. So if y'all want to be in the contest for the X-Jet, just leave in the comment section whatever you want, something about the X-Jet, and then we're going to pick all those people that left the comment that want to be entered in the X-Jet giveaway. And we'll probably do something early next week, maybe another live or something, and give it away. But it'll be free. We'll ship it to you. XJet actually gave me some units to give away a while back, and we've kind of been giving them away. I love the XJet, by the way. I mean, it's not a tool for everything with pressure washing, but man, when you need it, it's there. You know, an XJet, if you got 12.5% SH in a bucket, that XJet will throw 4% of that out that nozzle.
Wow.
So, you know, you can do some damage with it. I mean, pre-treat, post-treat, and don't tell nobody, but I've actually cleaned some shingle roofs with it when my 12 volt went down.
Wow.
You know, in a pinch, you know.
Yeah.
You can clean a shingle roof with an XJet. You know, 4%, multiple treatments. If it's not too bad, it cleans it up.
You know, I just thought of, I've seen people use, you know how your pressure wand, I've seen them have the quick connect right at the end of the pistol grip.
Sure.
And then you've got the long snout of the wand. Some people put the XJet right there at the pistol grip, then you got the whole wand. So as you're turning the wand and moving it around, it's like lower.
You use a J-rod on it and kind of tighten up that stream. I haven't done it. I don't know what the draw rate on that is. I kind of feel like more back pressure you put on that.
It'd probably be less.
Yeah, it could be a less of a draw, but I've also seen people use a 100-foot line on the XJet. We tend to use about a 20-foot line. That seems to work good, but 100 feet, I'm sure it's gonna hurt the draw rate. Maybe one of y'all know, leave in the comment section. I'm just thinking about coefficient drag coming through that hose, back pressure. Now, what would work if you had a 100-foot line on your XJet with a little pump to help power it through.
At that point, that's a lot to manage. You might as well just...
Yeah, you might as well just go with a roof pump, a gas pump, or a 12 volt, or 24 volt, or whatever else they got out there.
But I'll tell you what, in certain situations where you have to reach really, really high with that chemical, that XJet's going to reach further than any of these soft wash
the
pumps.
XJet. I never run my XJet on full throttle. I feel like if you power that throttle back 50-60% throttle, I feel it tightens up the stream a little bit, and the draw rate's about the same. So, you know, think about that. But yeah, if you want to win the XJet, leave it in the comment section. I'd love to win the XJet or something along those lines, and we're gonna pick a winner out here in a few days, and you know, broadcast it here on YouTube as well.
Michael's Life Cycle says, do we enter the giveaway in the live chat or comment section after the video is over?
Either one, and you can do multiple entries. So we're going to just do basically what we usually do. Let's say if we got 100 comments about the XJet, Apex just get his phone, pick a random number generator off of Google, pick whatever, and then count from the bottom up, you know, whatever number it picks. And that's how we do it, just random as possible.
Yeah, Charles West says, let me hold that XJet.
Now you gotta watch Dirt Blasters. He's gonna start spamming us now. He wants to win that XJet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dirt Blasters won an item from me in the past as well. He just texted me. He wants to know when are we giving away a new truck. Hey, you know what? If we got enough subscribers and comments, and we made some extra money off of YouTube, maybe we might would one day.
Yeah.
Like, not tonight though. No. But who knows in the future? Only God knows, you know.
That's right. I've seen crazier things happen, man. They've got giveaway channels and everything.
It would be amazing to be able to give away like one of the trucks we got.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would be a blessing for somebody for sure.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know, just pray about it, I guess.
Man, I was actually listening to that truck move around and stuff. Like that sounds really good for a smaller diesel truck, like a 1500 level truck, not even a 2500 size truck.
Yeah, so we got the 3.0 liter diesel engines. Me and Apex got a matching set, two separate trucks, and we're very impressed with the fuel mileage on them. And they pull really, really good. They pull better than, I think it's better than that Tundra I had.
Certainly.
It's a quieter ride. that little diesel doesn't struggle as much. And it's a small
Yeah.
diesel, 3.0 liter turbo. But that big V8 and that Tundra was a 5.7.
It was a 5.7. It was more dramatic, like when you're getting on the
Shifting,
interstate and
yeah,
stuff.
you hear it. It wasn't struggling, but it was just there.
Yeah, it was just louder. Like I said, more dramatic, more RPMs. But that diesel, it uses all that low end torque, and
Yeah.
like your friend said, it actually uses its power. All of its available torque is
In the
what
lower range, yeah.
right, and we're only using the lower range in our work truck. We're not revving it out to 6,000 RPMs trying to get to the next job. We're
So
just
the way
not
it
doing
was
that.
explained to me, Apex, if you have a gasoline engine that reaches its max horsepower and torque at, I don't know, 3,800 RPMs, 4,000 RPMs, whereas that smaller diesel engine is going to reach its max torque around 2,000. And so that means you don't have to use all of those RPMs to get to your torque. Now, obviously, the diesel engines have problems as well. I think we got to replace a fuel pump at some point. That's quite expensive, fuel filter, that sort of thing. This is my first diesel I've owned, so I'm kind of learning as I
These
go
are the
along.
second generation of this engine, and they're doing pretty good. I've been researching into it. These are actually some damn good little engines. And so we got Spirit NA Exterior Cleaning says, where does someone find your training courses? Question mark. So I've actually put the website right below your comment. I put it in a comment. You'll be able to find it at www.billydavidsonvip.com.
Yeah, guys, and I would ask you, when you go to my website, once you sign up, my personal phone number is on that website. Text me and let me know that you joined one of the courses. Just let me know which one, and I program your phone number as one of our VIP students. That way, if you have a problem at 2 a.m. and I get a text message from you, I know it's someone that's one of my students, and you're going to get priority, obviously. And we've done that quite a bit. Matter of fact, this month, I didn't hear my phone ring immediately, but a gentleman was calling me at like 1:35 a.m.
Man.
I done been asleep 2 or 3 hours. So, but his striper quit spraying. So we hopped on a FaceTime call and got him up and running. Now, obviously, if he wasn't a VIP student, I probably wouldn't have got out of bed for that, because I had to work the next morning. So so that goes to those VIP students, get that priority. And then in addition, if I'm not available, Apex can sometimes take a call too.
Yeah.
So kind of get both of us available for any emergencies that pop up.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Michael's life cycle, he says, have you ever had your fresh paint get rained on, and what is the solution for that?
Yeah, so that's a problem. We were doing a Hilton hotel years and years ago. No rain in the forecast. It was an asphalt parking lot, so we were using latex. And we put our latex down. And usually when we get the striping, we moving quick with it. So we had about 80 or 90 lines striped.
Oh, dear God.
The first 30 or 40 wasn't, they were dried. There wasn't a problem with those. They had dried to the touch. Now, using the right paint is real important, Apex, because you use the wrong paint, that stuff stays wet for hours.
Yeah.
Using the correct paint, that paint would dry within minutes. Now, in our case, we had done about 90 lines, 15, 20 minutes had passed by. This rain came in, and it was a flood of a rain. So about half our lines were fine. The other half of the lines, unfortunately, kind of blurred out a little bit. So they was not the sharp edges. So what we had to do, we had to go back when the weather was dry and kind of restripe those. And what I did, I had to widen up my spray pattern about 1/8 of an inch to kind of cover up those blurry edges, if it kind of makes sense. And that fixed the problem. Now, there's a big problem if it rains so hard that it washes your lines out in the parking lot.
Just smears them.
Smears them all over. I mean, it's you could literally be seal coating that parking lot out of pocket, or either out there pressure washing for days, trying to remove it off of concrete. So please, before you go out striping, get our training videos and we'll teach you exactly what paints to use at what temperatures, how to prepare these paints to be used,
Yeah.
so that they will dry quickly and be able to avoid these situations where, catastrophe is just around the corner, with a rain cloud or something.
Yeah.
So this could cost you big money if you make one of these mistakes. And like I was saying earlier, a lot of times a person could end everything before they get started, not knowing what they're doing.
They say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That if you're a small business, you're starting up, you get your first big job, that could either make or break you. So be very cognitive of these things.
And one other thing, guys, I want to mention too about parking lot striping paint. It's called a paint, quote unquote, but really it's more like a resin that's colored. Whatever it gets on, it's designed to stick permanently. It's designed to stick to dirty stuff. So
bonding agents
in it. That's right. Drying agents, that sort of stuff. We sometimes we get it on our clothes, and it can go through 100 washes and it's still there. So you want to make sure you're not getting paint on places that you don't supposed to. And then if you do, how to go about cleaning this up without damage that surface. Those are going to be some important things when you first start parking lot striping, to have that knowledge and not to panic if something happens. Kicking over a bucket of paint, that can cause severe anxiety and panic right there. I always tell my students, don't panic. If you panic, that's when the problem gets worse. But having these things in place, even if you have a little card in your glove box or your truck, a list of things, what to do, 1, 2, 3, or 4, a list of these things to do if a mistake or an accident happens with your paint in a parking lot. And it differs from concrete to asphalt. You got different protocols there. So be cognizant of that as well.
Wow. Yeah, now we've got a couple of more comments to squeeze in.
Okay.
So, AskMan45 ACP says, thanks for the info on vehicles, guys. I was going to use my dad's Nissan Altima, but it got wrecked by a big storm we had down there. Lost a bunch of big oak trees, cost $10,000 to get them cut up.
Oh man, that's very unfortunate. Well, we'll definitely be having you in our thoughts and prayers, and I'm sure our folks that watch us on YouTube channel will be thinking about you as well. And we hope that you pull through it. And if you need our help personally, don't be afraid to reach out, call, or text, and we'll do what we can on our end to give you some assistance.
Yeah, and look, things are gonna get better, man. Like I can personally attest. Like when I was maybe 12, 14 years old, my parents were trying to build a house, and they had the concrete slab, they had all 4 of the cinder block walls. It was going up, going good, and then Hurricane Katrina comes in, drops a giant oak tree right over our house to be, and it just didn't work out. But you just move on and work hard, and you'll get better.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Now we got another comment here.
Okay.
Michael's Life Cycle says, oh wow, you came up with a great solution to widen the line. But yeah, that would be a horrible day of seal coating out of pocket. Appreciate the response.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, widen that line up to an extent. Now, you can't do a 15-inch line out there, but typically our parking lines are between 3.5 inches and 4 inches wide. If you have a large parking lot, you can get away with a 5-inch line. Let's say if you got 200-300 parking lines out there, but if you're in front of a small doctor's office, you might not can widen those lines up to 5 inches. It starts to kind of look weird, but widen them up a little bit is kind of okay to do in this industry. But make sure they're straight and the edges are good. They got to look good. So, that's important to remember.
Yeah, and Michael's Life Cycle says, praying for you, ass man. That's a comical name there, ass man 45 ACP.
We call him A-Man.
Yeah, Amen. Yeah. Now, okay, let's see. John Comer says, spent $100 on your yard sign placement course. Definitely did not increase calls or leads. So,
well, yeah, you gotta have to start putting them out about 10 or 15 a week, and you'll see some results. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys, they put out some yard signs, and then if they don't get a call right away, they kind of stop doing it, but be consistent with it.
Yeah.
Even when work does start to pick up, a lot of times you'll be too tired to go out and do the yard signs, put them out, find locations for them. But staying persistent with 10 or 15 a week, you will get results.
I find that it's analogous to fishing, you know. The phrase you've said, make a big splash in a small pond, you know.
Yeah, big splash, small pond. But yard signs have worked for decades, and they still do.
He says, I thought it would have been a bit better, trial and error, I guess. Yeah, it's a lot of it's trial and error. You got to pick your right locations.
Yeah. But also, guys, make your yard signs exactly like I showed you in our training video.
Yeah.
That's going to be important. The colors are important. The verbiage that you use is real important. Don't add anything to it. We done split test these yard signs for, I don't know, the last 20 years, and I found what works. So just make sure, don't try to reinvent the wheel here, you know, and I'm not just saying this, you know, saying that, you know, some ego. Because I put stuff on yard signs and fancy yard signs, spent a bunch of money on them, and they didn't work. But the ones I show you in our training course is going to give you the best results. In addition to, that's called an impression on a customer. So if your customer sees this yard sign, and then also they Google you as well, so you need to be on Google and also on Facebook, so they'll be able to find you online as well as out in the real world. So make that impression on that potential customer.
Absolutely. And Sprite NA Exterior Cleaning says $100 in signs is nothing. Try a couple thousand signs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. More the better, you know, but they got to be in the right place. You don't want to get a littering ticket, that sort of thing. You want to be consistent with it. The sign needs to be designed correctly. There's a science behind it, for sure. And, you know, once you find those spots, we have a couple spots in our area. If I drop one yard sign in that area, we will be too busy to take all of the work, just one. There's been times we literally go back out there and take our own yard sign up. And for one reason, I would have this customer calling me one time, and I told them I couldn't get to their job right now. It would be a couple months, and then they went on Google and left me a bad review. And I didn't even work for them. I just told them I couldn't get to them right now.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So I took that
backlog's too big. You can't get to them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I give them some competition numbers, or either they can wait. You know.
Yeah. And we are over the 1 hour mark. We're in overtime answering y'all's questions. That's how much we care. You know, we
How many
get
people
everybody
got on board?
So we currently have 16 people on board.
People, all right.
Yep.
Let's do a couple more questions, and then we'll get on out here and go get us some dinner. Because Dirt Blaster's done send me catfish pictures. Thank you, Dirt
now.
Blaster.
Yeah.
I already get Dirt Blaster's number out on here.
Inundated with calls.
Right. Yeah, Dirt Blaster. He's a student. He's done took all our training. He's doing good. You know, striping, pressure washing.
Yeah.
He does it as a side hustle too.
So John Comer says, "Good tips overall. I guess the knowledge was great."
Well, I appreciate that. You know, and we can go in more depth on other videos. You know, on our YouTube channel, we've got thousands of videos now, and then our training courses as well. So we are glad to hear that this has been helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So that we're all. Oh, one more question.
One more, and then we're going, and then I'm going to tell you about the X-Jet one more time too as well.
So Michael's Life Cycle says, "What part of the country are you guys in?"
We down in Louisiana, Cajun land. So we are nestled in a town called Hammond, Louisiana, Hammond. It's between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, a little bit north of Lake Pontchartrain. And this is where I've been at, doing my pressure washing career for the last, I think, 31 years now. I've done kind of lost track. But we do travel a lot to other states, some contracts we have, and it's been amazing. I still have the passion for it as I did 30 years ago. I just absolutely love the striping the parking lines and then pressure washing. Every job is unique. I don't necessarily enjoy the summers anymore, but you know, it is what it is. Apex enjoys them though.
Yeah,
he just fell in the river, yo.
Okay, so one more thing before we go. I was gonna tell you guys, I use a Samsung phone, Samsung Galaxy phone, and Of course, I'm not sponsored by them. This is just my commentary. So I had my phone screen get cracked, and I had somebody replace it, some business, and I got my phone wet. And these phones are rated to be like water resistant, semi waterproof, if you will. Like you can video underwater in a pool sometimes. It just depends on the phone.
Right.
But since that phone screen was replaced, it broke the factory seal. You can never get that seal back with a replacement screen. So if your phone gets wet at all, like if it's in your pocket and you're downstreaming something, or if you get some water splash back on you, just know that if you replace your phone screen, it is now very susceptible to water damage.
Yeah.
Maybe just leave it in the trunk.
You gotta have a waterproof phone when pressure washing. I dropped my whole phone in a 5-gallon yellow paint of striping paint, and it just disappeared. And then, my instant thing was to reach in there. So I yellow paint past my elbow. I should have done that.
Got that
It scared me.
thing dripping.
I gotta have my
paint.
phone. I mean, you miss one call, it might be $4,000 or $5,000 job or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, remember our SAVE50 on BillyDavidsonVIP.com. That's the coupon code SAVE50.
Save 50. Yep.
Save 50, and that is reduced. And that's what we're gonna let that run through tonight or something.
Yeah. We'll see how.
How about we'll let it run through tomorrow night at midnight. We'll cancel that.
Yeah.
That code. So hop in there and use it while you can. Also, leave a comment in the live stream or even after the live stream for the XJet giveaway. So, well, guys, we hope you all have a good night. Thanks for joining us here, and shout out to Apex for coming in and doing this live stream with us. You can check out his YouTube channel here on YouTube as well, Apex Pressure Washing. Go give him a like and a subscribe to some of his videos, guys. And we love y'all, and we hope to see you all soon.